We're back here at the Chrissy B Show where we're covering the topic of asking for help. And now we have with us Nicky and also founder of National Mentoring Day, Chelsey Baker. Hello, ladies.
Hi, Chrissy.
So lovely to see you both and have you both on the show, because I know we're going to learn lots today and definitely help our viewers at home. So let's obviously, Chelsea, we've met you before because you've been on the show talking about mentoring with our resident business expert, Jonathan Farr. But it's the first time you've been on the show. So you're going to tell us all about yourself because you've done something really, really good, haven't you?
Thank you.
So tell us first, how were things, what kind of difficulties have you been through in your life?
Well, to start with, my biggest difficulty is a personal one. I'm actually dyslexic, and that's a big thing for me. I struggled right through school and I actually didn't tell anyone.
Really?
Yeah, I did my A-levels without telling anyone that I was struggling, and it was after that.
Why didn't you ask for help?
I felt silly.
Okay.
I felt like, you know, it would be admitting that there was something wrong. And I didn't realise I was dyslexic. I just thought I wasn't quite as bright as everyone else. And I went through and I actually now recognise I worked really hard to do all that I did. And then I did my A-levels and I thought the only things I was good at was art and drama because they were very practical subjects. Okay. So that's what I continued to study. And one of my tutors turned around and said, "You need to be tested for dyslexia," and had the test done, found out I was dyslexic, and kind of went, I can do anything.
That's what I was going to say. Was it kind of like a relief? Because at least you knew why you were struggling sometimes and everything. But it's amazing how you just worked hard and just got through everything without saying anything to anyone.
I think my parents probably had a bit of an awareness that I was struggling because they were very supportive. But yeah, I think I'm a bit of a stubborn person, and I think
I was going to say must be strong-minded to get through everything like that.
Yeah, but I quite enjoy the challenge as well, doing it on my own. But then found that actually, after everyone knew, it wasn't so much actually learning things or different things it's just doing things in your own way.
Different way,
and that's really nice because now I know about it and I understand it. I can just change things to suit me.
Oh, that's been so liberating for you.
It really is. And that's something that Chelsea's helped me with a lot as well, was finding new techniques for different things. So,
Now tell us about your business, because I know we're going to bring Chelsea in just a moment because she has helped you with something. But tell us about your idea, first of all, that you had.
Okay, so I own photobooths, which I do mainly at weddings, parties, corporate events, all of those kind of things. So I spend a lot of time at celebrations, which is really nice. And what we do is we aim to capture the fun side. So we get people having a laugh, dressing up, and then we can brand all of our photos. So if it's a wedding, we can have the bride and groom's name on there. If it's for corporate events, we can fully brand it. So there's a really useful tool to use at events as well. I came up with the idea when I went out to America, and they'd actually already been introduced over there. My friend had a wedding and we went out to her wedding and I was just like, that's a brilliant idea. Came back to the UK and was a bit like, there's nothing like it around where I live or anything. So I had to do quite a lot of research, and once I found it, I bought my first booth. And it just, everyone kind of was going, what is that? I loved it, which was brilliant.
Where did you put it? Did you already have like... How did you make it work and everything?
Well, it breaks down into boxes, so it is transportable. So I keep it. We've got.
Sorry, I don't know what it looks like or how it breaks down.
So yeah, no, I go to somewhere and assemble it, and then break it down, and take it away again. So yeah.
Now, at what point did Chelsea come in and help you? Did you start off with help straight away, or did you start the business and then think?
I started the business and then went to Chelsea. I'd already met Chelsea. And then went away and came back to her and kind of said, got this new business, I've bought a booth, you know, very excited, and I've spent out all this money and have no bookings, basically. So yeah, which was great because I went to Chelsea and she kind of sat me down and we went through everything, and she just really got a great understanding for my business from the very core. But it's great because a mentor is somebody who looks at your business from a different angle, because obviously it's my baby. You know, that's what my business is, it's my baby, and I'm very close to it, and sometimes it's hard to take a step back. So when you've got a business mentor, they kind of take that step back and they go, hang on, let's look at this, and you go, how did I not notice? You know,
right, yeah. I mean, obviously there has to be quite a bit of trust, because it is, like you said, it's your baby. So what made you be quite sort of at least trust something into Chelsea's hands like that?
Well,
what made you so confident to do that?
Part of it is from my dad, who's always told me that you never accept advice for someone who's in a position you don't want to be. So knowing Chelsea's background and how successful she's been, in my mind I was going, actually, yeah, she's where I want to be. And then we sat and chatted and just got on really well. So she took the time to understand every level. So she understands me on a personal level with the dyslexia. She understands my business. And it's really nice to have someone who actually has taken the time to do all of that, rather than just take a look and just in 10 seconds go, yeah, you need to do this, that and the other. Whereas, she has a real understanding, which is lovely.
Brilliant. So
and
Chelsea,
no idea,
what did you see in Nicky here? What did you notice?
I think the first thing that I saw was her passion and her determination and, just her eagerness to learn. And that's what mentoring is. It's that two-way process. And the more that Nicky was giving me, the more I was giving her. And it just worked. And I think, one of the key points to mentoring is you do have to spend time understanding your mentee and how they the skill level that they've got. Because some of the sessions with Nicky, we have so many pens all over the table. We have different coloured pieces of paper. And it's just adapting to Nicky's situation. So,
How did you know to work with that, though? Because is it something that you had to go and research yourself and stuff like that, or was it just through conversations with Nicky?
I just think I've been in business over 20 years now, and I've just worked with so many different kinds of people from every age.
So you have to be quite adaptable as
well. The oldest
right?
person I've mentored, I think, was 75, and the youngest, I think, 14, 15. So you adapt very quickly to different skill sets and different levels. And I've worked with quite a few dyslexic people before, and I don't see it as an issue at all, because actually what dyslexia does is really bring about an incredibly creative person who has so many wonderful ideas that it can really help.
So you're kind of learning at the same time as well.
Yeah, and it's channeling that amazing creativity into areas that they can excel at. For example, marketing, and coming up with all the different ideas. So Nicky's really, really blossomed, and it's wonderful to watch her grow. Really fantastic.
And what do you think of how the business is going and the future of it? Both of you.
I think that the results speak for themselves. Sales have increased. Nicky started, we were obviously matched together through Rockstar. They connected us, and when Nicky first came to me, she invested her life savings in one photo booth. Photo booths hadn't hit the UK at this time, so I'm thinking, well, what is this TARDIS? So I go in and I come out like a cloud. I mean, what is this? And took time to understand the business and some of the challenges. Nicky had no marketing budget, so we had to really.
How did you get past that?
Creativity.
But it's adapting and working to what you have.
And it was great because, with the photo booth, we spoke about how for my first wedding fair, I put a bit of money into it. The only bit I had left went into a wedding fair, and I got there with no leaflets, nothing with any of my details on. And what we did was Chelsea said to me, well, why don't we put your website onto the photos? So I got everyone in the booth, and every photo that printed had my website on it and my phone number on it.
Great idea.
And it worked, So it was creativity, I think, was how we got there.
Okay. But Nicky had that enthusiasm to go out and ask questions, and with no real budget, we looked at the local area and how we could approach corporates, how we could approach and do birthdays, looking at what you have, a photo booth, what can we now do with this, branching out, looking at additional revenue streams. And I think that's where mentoring comes in, because I was going to say young because you're so lovely and young, but somebody of Nicky's experience who hasn't perhaps launched her own business before can't see those challenges and those pitfalls ahead and those additional revenue streams. So that's the importance of mentoring, to have somebody just say, hey, have you thought about this way? Have you thought about this? And acting as that sounding board to show that there are other avenues.
I bet you're so glad that you went down this route.
Definitely. And one of the things for me, you were talking about progressing the business, is that, with my dyslexia, all I ever said was I never wanted a career where I had to write anything. And it was always something I've struggled with. And through meeting Chelsea, my writing skills have gone amazingly well, and I've developed all of that side of my business in that I now write a wedding blog, and I'm developing that side of my business. And Chelsey said to me a little while ago, I hope you're sitting down, but I was thinking about you writing a book. And I was like, okay.
Oh, wow.
But I love it because it was something I'd never ever think of doing, but it kind of puts all my experience together, and I write a blog and I tell everyone about the things that I've seen and the ideas that I've seen, and it's really nice. I've just started it and it's just really exciting, but I would never have ever thought about doing that without Chelsey. So.
It's kind of nice because sometimes other people see potential in us that we don't see ourselves, and they just know what we know how to draw it out, which is a really great thing. What's all this done for your confidence?
It's done a lot. I've always been outwardly confident, but I've kind of dealt myself on the inside.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, I've always been quite an outgoing, have fun and all that. But inside I've always been a bit like, don't make me read that, that kind of thing. Yeah. Whereas now I don't worry about looking silly, if you know what I mean, because I think a lot of that is sitting there thinking, I don't want to look silly in front of these people. Yeah. Whereas Chelsea's kind of taught me that actually it doesn't matter. It's all about me, and I can sit there and I can take my time reading something, and no one's going to think any more or less of me. And asking for help has been a problem I've had to overcome, and now I've overcome it. It's quite empowering now to actually go, I don't know that, and I'm going to ask for help, because it's exciting to get those answers back. Yeah. And if I ask Chelsea, we sit there and we have a really creative session, which is great fun. And like she said, the coloured pens are everywhere, and we get down to the nitty-gritty. Oh, it is. It is.
You see, guys at home, how great it is to ask for help. It's not a bad thing at all, is it? Future of your business, where do you see yourself in the future?
Well, I'm hoping to develop what we've called me the Wedding Insider, because I get all the insider knowledge. Yeah. And so I see a lot of weddings. So I kind of want to develop that side and be able to give people advice on how to make other events different as well, because I like things that are a bit different, a bit quirky. Yeah. So I kind of want to be the go-to person that people will look at for the ideas and stuff like that, because I love that side of things.
Brilliant. So, I'm sure you're doing really, really well. Thank you so much for speaking to us, Nicky. It's been great hearing your story. And Chelsea, you're going to stay with us because you're going to be telling us about a national day that you launched, aren't you?
I am indeed. Very exciting.
Don't go away, because we're also going to be joined by business expert Jonathan Farr.